Welcome to the 12. No, that's the station we're watching. Because it's not the 12 Today After Show.
Fix it.
They done changed the name on me. I work night side and take a long weekend, and I come back and everything's different. I'm glad my key fob still worked at least. This is the Today in AZ After Show. Good morning, everybody. I'm Paul Gerke alongside Emma J, James Quinones, and Hungry.
It's very odd that we have Hungry here.
She did say that.
But on top of that, we have the entire cast.
We're back.
Yeah.
We're
back.
It's
been a long time. Someone
got the band
married,
back together again.
had to go on his honeymoon.
Married, yeah. Things change quick.
Yeah.
Paul was on nights.
I was sitting alongside Caribe Divine, reading the serious news. Put on your serious news face.
You know what? I wish that I could just sit next to Caribe every day.
What does that mean? Am I kicked out of this equation now?
You know.
Well, Caribe is hot.
Yeah.
She said it.
That's right. Comment if you agree.
No, please don't.
No, we don't need any.
We do want you to comment, though. The show's all about you. Hop into the comment section.
Yeah.
Becca says clowns. Oh, I thought she was calling us clowns. No, she's talking about, well, she's right. We're also clowns.
Yeah.
Right.
We've asked you to reply in the comments about your worst fears and phobias because Halloween's coming up. We want to know what you're afraid of. So Becca's scared of clowns, and also we may be clowns. Mm-hmm. Good morning to Arnold and Jim and everybody else watching this morning.
So speaking of clowns.
Oh, please.
When I was growing up, my dad had to work in Texas for a little while, and he had these came across this shop with this lady that makes these custom clowns, and he thought they were cute, right? So he'd send them to me.
Vanessa.
They were the scariest things ever.
Back this train up. Like small clowns? Life-size clowns?
So they're like this big,
That's too
and
big.
they can sit, like they're kind of flimsy, but their faces were just like white with red, and they had this grin on them. Yes, they're at my parents' house.
I
and
want a
so
picture.
he would send them. I'm like, Mom, I don't like these. I don't want them. So she would put them in her room,
Yes.
you know. And then for a while they put them in my room, and I freaked out. So then we put them in the office, and so they're still in the office, hanging out there. But they were so scary. Like I could not sleep. I didn't want them. I told him to stop sending them to me because they weren't cool.
You know when you go to bed, they're having clown parties. Like, without a doubt, those
She
things
comes back and they're all sitting in different orders and stuff.
Like,
And they were like red and purple and pink, and they this lady handmade them. And so I know it was a thoughtful gesture on my dad's part, but they were scary. Still are scary. Like I should have my mom send me a picture. Like they are crazy.
People have severe phobias of clowns. I've never understood it.
Well, what's that scary
They're
clown
creepy.
movie?
Yeah, they just remade it. Yeah,
That one is scary.
And these clowns are from Lubbock, Texas? From the movie La Bamba. Sorry.
Jack Candy of SNL. Remember Jack Candy, Deep Thoughts?
John
that
Candy.
segment they used to do it.
Yes, I love Jack Candy.
Who's Jack Candy?
Jack Candy.
You don't
is the
know?
guy.
No, well, I
I'll
probably
play you
know
some.
if I saw
You
it.
should
YouTube
Google
it.
some Jack Candy.
It's from
quotes.
Saturday Night Live.
One of them was.
He would do poetry.
Oh,
Yeah.
like John Candy.
One of them was he's always scared of clowns, and he says, "I think it goes back to the time a clown killed my dad."
Yeah.
I think.
That would make me scared of clowns. Yeah.
What's that other crazy clown movie where they're like crazy?
Revenge of the Clowns.
Is that what it is? Yes.
That sounds like a crazy clown movie.
They were.
Jack
Attack
Candy
of the Clowns.
is just bringing up
Jeff
a bunch
Candy?
of...
No, Jack Handy.
Oh, I thought you
Sorry,
were
I'm getting a cold. I'm not
Candy.
enunciating.
Jack Candy.
Golly.
It's John Candy, idiot.
Once I told my nephew we were going to Disneyland. Instead, I took them to a burnt-out warehouse, and they cried.
Oh, no, I said Disneyland burned down.
No. But then I told him the truth, and we went home, and we laughed. It's like just dumb poetry.
Oh, there's some really, really good ones.
Yeah,
You should look
really
at those.
good.
Oh, look at this one. Olivia says she's scared of blood.
Oh, dear.
Well, Olivia, I got bad news for you. You're full of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully. I mean,
What else we got?
Steve says being in the same room with all of his exes. I don't understand a situation in which that would be possible.
The Bachelor Woman Tell All.
How many
Balloons.
exes does Steve have?
I don't know.
Think he has a lot?
Probably a few. Drunk drivers. That's a very real fear, Trudy. Yes, I'm also afraid of drunk drivers.
Yeah, every single morning when we're driving in at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Jim
you have
says
to be careful.
snakes. I don't know no snakes.
I don't like snakes. Halima, big shout out. You said you wanted a shout out. I hope I pronounced that name. Halima.
Yeah.
Right to me.
Halima. Yeah.
Where are you watching from, Halima?
Yeah.
Where are you joining us from today?
So my son has taken a liking to running into our bedroom at full speed, typically between 1 and 2 a.m.
No.
Every single night. So I
Was that a
talked to
snake
him
falling
about
from
it, about
the
like,
ceiling?
why are you, yeah, it was a snake. that we had
sorry.
last week. Why are you, like, why, number one, you're in full sprint mode.
Okay. Yeah.
And number two, it's happening every single night. So like, what's going on? And he said that skeletons are chasing him.
No.
Yes, skeletons are chasing him.
Did he watch a scary movie with skeletons?
No, but right outside of his window, there's a house on our street that has these faux skeletons that are like all over the front of the house. just in time for Halloween. I thought it was great, and we would go over there every single day, and we'd look at the skeletons. It was so awesome. Little did I know that they're haunting him in his dreams and chasing him down the hallway to my room every single night.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a great reminder every single time he comes in that I have 30 more minutes of rest before I have to come to work.
It's the worst alarm ever, a screaming kid in full screen.
That should be one of our next topics. Like, what have you done as a parent where you thought you were trying to be sweet or kind to your kid and really like traumatize them?
Yeah, that would be one. That would be one of many.
When I was a kid, I came from the generation where parents would be like, "You better do that, or someone's going to come in a van and kidnap you and take you away from us."
The Llorona.
Say that
You
anymore.
can't do that anymore. If you're not careful, someone's going to come and they're going to kidnap you and we'll never see you again.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'd love to know if anyone who is watching right now, if they have like memories from their childhood of Halloween, like bad Halloween mistakes your parents made. I wonder how the kids, the Jimmy Kimmel kids, the ones who get their Halloween candies taken, I wonder if that's going to have any effect later on in life. Every time they see candy, they just gorge themselves because they're like, my parents might take it away.
All those kids are obese now. I imagine parenting is a lot like that, where it's just like a series of accidental mistakes that permanently scar the life you're trying to raise.
Pretty much.
Oh, well, really screwed that one up. This kid's always going to be afraid of clowns now, you know?
I always try and think of that. I look back on like the things that I remember from my childhood, and I try and think, okay, I remember this moment. How can I not do that to my kids?
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
You know what I mean?
Don't
It doesn't
do it.
work.
Get those thoughts out,
It
because
doesn't
I
work.
tried that as a parent. And I failed miserably. Yeah. You got to live in the now.
Yeah.
And sometimes the way your parents raised you was the right way. I thought it was the wrong way at first. Turns
My
out it was
parents
the
did
right
a
way.
phenomenal job, so I have zero complaints, especially because my mom's watching. She always-
She's watching it. So back in the day, there's this mythical creature called the Llorona. And so it's a new movie coming out. Yeah, so it's a remake. A movie's coming out of it. So I've seen lots of posts lately. And all these memes are saying like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be the same as my parents telling us, the Llorona's going to come get you if you don't get
Yes, they used to say that to us
too. Or the Llorona's
too.
going to come get you if you don't clean your room. And so you get scared. So anyways, this movie's coming out. So everybody's so scared to go watch it because your parents like freaked us out when we were growing up that this.
What did the creature look like?
It's an old woman. She lost her children, fell in the river, and she went to go get them, and she drowned and she died. And to this day, La Llorona wanders the banks looking for her children.
I learned something.
Yeah.
That's going to make me lose some sleep.
So that movie, I believe, is either out or coming out. It's perfect right now for Halloween.
Movie.
That's a great movie.
So go watch it.
And if she finds you, she'll take you.
Have you guys heard about the Netflix show The Haunting that everyone's talking
I've heard
about
all
right
about
now?
it, but I haven't watched it.
I've heard everyone talking about it too, and I haven't watched it either, but everyone says that it's affecting them so much.
Then I'm not
Then
gonna
I won't watch it.
Yes, yes, like people are losing sleep over it, and it's, I can't, I know that I can't handle that stuff, because I let myself watch The Sixth Sense, and what was that Michelle Pfeiffer one that came out with Harrison Ford, and it turns out that he was the bad guy?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, you guys know.
Sorry.
It came out right around the same time as The Sixth Sense, and I was younger.
I know which one you're talking
about. And I remember going to watch that.
What is it?
What Lies Beneath. What Lies Beneath, that's what it was.
Steadicam Michael's always good for a guess.
Yeah. I remember watching those two like back to back when I was younger, like in theaters, because it was cool to go see scary movies. And I'm still so scared of those movies. So I learned early that I just can't handle it.
I'm gonna pull a deep reference here, and I hope one of you guys gets it, because if not, I'm just gonna look stupid.
Okay,
but
let me think.
Do you remember the book?
You remember?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Do
Oh,
I?
yes.
It had a picture of like a
big
head on it
monster.
with like blue eyes and a pipe sticking
We
out.
would tell those stories all the time.
OMG!
Yeah.
That book ruined me as
those
a
are
kid.
horrible books.
All of the stories in that book are awful.
They're so scary.
Awful.
Yes.
If you have the same traumatizing memories of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, get in here. I think they actually released a couple of those.
I want to see his.
They were all bad.
The book is black and white, and
Yes.
it has the red border
Yes.
on it.
Yeah.
I totally remember that, and we had like a few different copies because there was a series of it.
Yes.
And they were horrifying stories.
Awful stories.
Yes.
Like I'm remembering some parts of them now, and I just can't.
And I wonder if reading them, it lets your mind wander even a little bit more. So rather than just watching it, like watching a scary movie, you would let your mind wander, which I think is where the fear and the scariness really is.
Yeah.
When your mind
Also,
goes
the
crazy.
illustrations in that book were gruesome. They were
were
hideous
very
illustrations. I'd turn the page of an already scary book and then see it, and I'm like, God! Get out of town.
No, this is way
growing up. It was
after
just-
my time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They
All
were
right.
frightening.
I was probably
Welcome
like
to
a
viewers
frat
here.
party when you were reading that.
What, dude? Scary stories.
What's a beer bong? That's good.
A lot of people are afraid of clowns. That's like a common.
It's the clown
Karen
thing.
says my biggest fear is the hate mongering and divisiveness consuming the country. That's a very real fear.
Yeah. All right.
Cow, we took it to another level.
Is that just around Halloween, or is that?
We just turned to the right there.
Ryan says my biggest fear is quicksand.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like metaphorical or literal?
I used to scare me.
How often do you encounter quicksand?
What about drowning?
I don't even know if
a lot of people have a
exists.
fear of drowning.
Do you see this one?
Yeah.
Not seeing Vanessa in the morning.
Oh,
Nobody wants to wake up and not see
That's
Vanessa
one of my
in the
biggest
morning.
fears. I hate when she doesn't come here.
Scorpions.
Thanks, Ro.
Jordan says scorpions.
Watching Channel 3. Got him, Terrence.
Yes.
Bam, bam, bam. Finger guns.
Yes.
That's cute.
Terrence, the big winner in the comments section
Get
today.
Terrence's number, send him a t-shirt.
Seriously. Where's Turkey going?
All right, we're going to get to some more of these in just a second. You guys are responding en masse. But first, we've got to get to our ICYMI. In case you missed it, this morning on Today in AZ, this is something that scares me an awful lot. Take a look.
Have that whole movie memorized, all 4 hours. The total experience, a replica of the Titanic, dubbed Titanic 2, will set sail in 2022. The ship is an exact replica as the original. And get this, it will sail the same North Atlantic route as the original. So everyone's wondering, would you set sail on the Titanic 2? I mean, with global warming, there probably isn't that large an iceberg.
I hadn't considered that. Well played.
That much trouble. And if Leonardo DiCaprio was in, I'm in.
Pride is the fall of man. Our hubris will end up being the downfall of all of us here. Why would you do this? You're tempting fate.
It's just silly.
No thanks.
Let's do it, shall we? Where tons of people died. All
Where's Gurky going? To the bottom of the ocean. Okay, Titanic fan.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Explain it to me. Why? Why would you do this?
You know, I never gave Titanic a thought, like nothing. Like you learned about it in school. When that movie came out, forever changed. 13 times in the movie theaters. My sisters and I saw it.
13 times?
13 times while in theaters.
I cried first time I
My
saw it.
parents were so sick of taking us that they made us walk to the movie theater to get to go see it. It took us about 2 hours just to walk to the theater.
They thought that would be a deterrent.
No. Little did they know. They gave us more time to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. I remember one time someone brought in one of those laser pointers to the theater during my viewing of Titanic.
No.
Brought it out during the painting scene or the drawing scene. I was so upset that someone would take that moment away. You know,
It's very passionate.
That you had to go and see the movie again.
Yeah.
Right, that I had to go and I had to see it again.
They wrecked that whole scene.
Draw me like one of your
I do not understand why anyone would think it'd be a good idea to retrace the exact route. You know,
I think
this
it's
many
cool.
years later.
I think it is.
I wonder how many people are actually going to say, yeah, sign me up.
It's going to be full house, packed.
Yeah.
And if I go, I want to dress like they did back then.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
It should be.
And in this day and age, they can detect icebergs, and
Right.
even if you hit something, they could have like 20 Coast Guard ships out to you like that.
I do wonder, I mean, they said that it's an exact replica. So did they use anything to improve?
Have to. They'd have.
You would have to.
I bet they incorporated some artifacts from some of the deep sea dives and stuff.
I
When
would
they've gone
hope
down and looked at the
That would
wreckage.
be
I bet
neat.
that's pretty
Maybe
cool
they have like
too.
a museum in there that you can go check
I bet
out.
there is.
Can you imagine having the opportunity to go down and see the wreckage?
Oh, I can't imagine.
Wow.
A lot of it's still pretty much intact.
Yes, which
because
is so
it's buried
frightening.
under the sea.
Believe me, I know. I've seen it 13 times.
I'll say this. I think it might be, and maybe it's not. Maybe I'm imagining this. Isn't it a little insensitive? Like to just be like,
seems a
let's just do this over
insensitive.
again. Like, I don't know. Like, not to say that there's a ton of Titanic survivors left.
Yeah, is
Are
anybody
there
know-
any still
no,
I don't know
alive?
if there's
I
any.
thought I read there was like one, or maybe he or she passed away recently.
Yeah.
She was a baby when she was on the ship.
Yeah, but like that just seems to me like would you recreate any other disaster? Like if
know.
they recreated the Hindenburg and they were like, no, we're going to fly this blimp again. It's the same
Because
thing. They wouldn't do that.
That's the thing, is because it's become so Hollywood since that movie, which is iconic. It has become very Hollywood. When you look back on what happened in history, and it was disastrous.
Yeah.
You couldn't have. I mean, it was way too many people on that boat and not enough lifeboats. So, I mean, it was just a recipe for disaster.
Would you launch a Challenger 2? You wouldn't. That sounds so insensitive. I felt uncomfortable saying that.
And when I went to Rome, everyone's in the Colosseum. The hideous stuff that went on in the Colosseum.
Right,
For
everyone's taking
about
pictures.
400 years. It'd be like me saying, hey, guys, I want to take you to where this gang fight was 2 weeks ago. It was bloody, man. Those people got killed. And,
So funny,
oh,
so
check
true.
it out. So with the gang fight. And the guy he had the sword. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
History sanitizes things a little
First year of the college.
That's what I'm wondering, though. Is it insensitive or is it an ode to the Titanic? You know what I mean?
They're gone. No one's around. They'll do it.
Yeah.
Do it again. I don't think it's disrespectful.
I don't think they're poking
They
fun.
recreate Civil War battles, too.
That's true. My uncle does.
50,000 people died in one day. Like, oh, let's do this.
That's true. They do that all the time.
Big time.
Jim says he'd sail the Titanic too, but Channel 12 needs to send him and he can report on how he's going. This is the same guy who a little bit ago said he's afraid of cottage cheese. So I don't know, man. They might have some cottage cheese on that ship.
Oh, hey,
I don't know.
hey, I'm watching this show called The Romanoffs. You know, it's kind of, it's on Prime. But Sherilyn says she's afraid of Rasmussen. And if you know anything about the Romanovs, the Rasmussen was he was the advisor, the priest to the Romanovs. It was pretty creepy.
Another reason.
Look him up on Google, Rasmussen. He would scare the heck out of you, and he was a real life person.
Jimmy, you never told us what you're afraid of.
Oh.
He was afraid of settling down for a really long time.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. She'll be here all night. Try the roast beef.
Yeah, thank
Please
you.
tip your waiter. Really good. You know, I'm not.
Scorpions,
I'm trying to think. When I was a little kid, I used to go to sleep, and these hands, for whatever reason, for a period of my life, would come from the bed and pull me under.
Sorry.
Right.
And I'd have these nightmares. It was hands. They'd have different gloves.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
You
it was
didn't
a nightmare.
establish that part.
But I would wake up under the bed. I would wake up under the bed.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then what happened was, I don't know how I did this, but all of a sudden I turned them into cartoon figures. That's how I defeated them.
In your brain.
I turned them into cartoons. So I started laughing at them. I'm like, oh, it's cartoons. It's a cartoon character. And I had fun with it. And then they stopped immediately.
So when I got married, all these stories about my husband started coming out. About how when he was a child, he would wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I thought this was going
No, I know. I caught you with that one.
Juicy details.
His eyes would be open and he would be in a full sprint and sweat, screaming, running around the house. His parents thought that he was possessed. Yes.
So it's very similar to what your son is doing right now.
Well, kind of, but Eli doesn't scream and he's not uncontrollable. They would have to hold Brad and throw him in the shower just to try and wake him up, and sometimes that wouldn't work. Yes. So we had night terrors that were just horrible. Of course, they tell me this after I'm married.
Okay,
so I can't get out.
You're locked and loaded.
Right, exactly.
This doesn't come off. World's smallest handcuffs right here.
Thankfully, dude, you're only a weekend. Thankfully, they're gone, and so obviously I don't have to deal with that anymore. But stuff like that can be passed down.
Yeah.
And can be genetic.
Hereditary.
Where it just. That's just something that you have to deal with. But he would wake up, and there were times that they had babysitters, and the babysitter, I remember meeting one of the babysitters out at lunch one time, and she told me, your husband, like, traumatized me.
Oh, my God.
Horrible.
If your son starts screaming, this is going to take an entirely different...
I know.
Wait, I just want to say here that this made me laugh. Charleston said fear of being a father again.
Again. The operative word again. Hey, let's get into some fresh squeezed juice before we run out of time. Jimmy's going to run off to the little boys' room real quick.
Well, I have a little present for Vanessa that she earned.
Ooh, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's read the fresh squeezed juice. We're running out of time.
All right, talk about making a waitress's day. A North Carolina waitress named Elena Cluster waited on a guy who ordered 2 glasses of water and then just left. That guy also left a note that said, thanks for the delicious water. No big deal, right? Well, that's not all he left. He also happened to drop $10,000 on the table.
What?
Yes, $10,000, not Mega Millions money, but hey, who would turn down that kind of money? Turns out the guy who left the money was a YouTube star, Mr. Beast, who is known for giving away large sums of money to unsuspecting people. Mr. Beast is just 20 years old and usually posts videos of these giveaways. Elena, who's a college student, kept $800 for herself and then split the rest of the 10 grand amongst her coworkers.
No way, she split it.
Life-changing money there, though. Good for her for splitting the money.
Yeah,
$10,000. That is, I mean, especially for students. My goodness.
For wait staff in general, geez.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, why does that 20-year-old have so much money?
He's a YouTube star. There's a lot of money in online stuff.
They make millions.
Yeah.
They can.
I want to know, how did he
dollars.
become famous, though? Did he already have that money initially, and this is what he started doing?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's hard to, once you go viral,
nobody knows how to go viral.
Yeah,
nobody knows.
You just need
it
that
just
one
happens.
break. And then right when you get that one break, that one good video, if you can keep it up, which what sounds like he's doing with doing these great videos, then you can make so
I'm trying to work on a new one now. It's development. It's a character that he's a psychiatrist and he's a puppet. So, what are you?
I am...
That's a South Park reference, I think.
And moving on.
Thank you.
that the puppet?
I've been waiting
This is for Vanessa. She's been waiting for the pass it down.
Wait.
Take one, pass it around.
You may know that our morning show team won an Emmy for the best morning newscast.
Yes. And we are.
Here is Vanessa's Emmy.
Yes, this is her Emmy.
The unboxing moment.
And let me tell you, there's other things I think involved in this too.
I can't get it.
She works 2 jobs.
Three.
She'll work 3 jobs.
Right.
She's at the Diamondbacks late at night. She wakes up. She's earned this.
Don't break it. Don't break it.
Take her out.
Anyone that has to do our hours pretty much earns this for the amount of sacrifice that we do and we give to our lives.
Isn't she beautiful? Thanks, guys.
Isn't she lovely?
As a team, we won this together, so that's pretty cool. I think that's
That is cool.
How come yours is metal? The one they gave me is like plastic and small. It's like a keychain. But they said it's more prestigious because they hand out less of those.
Pocket size, yeah.
I guess because I'm the older guy, I get the more prestigious one.
Yes.
No,
I wouldn't want
guys.
something like that. It's too gaudy.
Bulky.
Whatever.
Showing off.
Mine look nice in my living room, I must say.
Yeah.
Guys, we hope you join us tomorrow.
Emma's like, I already have 10 of them.
She's too big for us.
I hope you join us tomorrow for Today in AZ.
Yes.
4:30 to 7 a.m., everyone. Thanks for joining us on the after show.
Thanks for all your comments, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Beware the clowns.
Yes.
No! I'm going to bring
see
the
that?
picture in.
I would love to see that picture. Show us tomorrow, would you?
Gosh.